Good day, sentient beings and gracile hominids. Welcome to Minecraft. This is going to be a hopefully fairly quick base tour of something I built in Skyblock version 2.1. And if you don't know, Skyblock 2.1 was a much earlier version than is currently available. In fact, the resources that you could use were much more limited. You could not, for example, go to the Nether and find a fortress, for example. They didn't exist. So you weren't able to get things like glue rods. You couldn't get as a result of that, you couldn't make a potion brewing stand. I happen to like this version because it is more of a challenge than what has been released subsequently. Simply because it really does challenge your knowledge of Minecraft quite a lot. Now, I should point out that while you may be used to Minecraft streamers and YouTubers coming up with wonderful, beautiful, elegant designs, I am not so inclined or even able. I spent most of my life as a systems engineer, and I tend to approach things in that fashion. That is, trying to get everything working and not too worried about aesthetics. However, I do find an engineering approach has a certain elegance to it, if I say so myself. So, where do we start? Well, this tree represents pretty much the general area where I spawned, and everything else was effectively built out from around here. And I'm trying to remember in what order I built everything, which I don't. As a matter of fact, I really don't remember. So I will simply go where my whimsy takes me. So we'll start off over here. Because this is a mob spawner. In fact, to be precise, it's a sorting mob spawner. Didn't start out that way. It sort of became that as we went along. So this here is the main mob spawning area. In fact, you can probably hear the zombie underneath me. There is a flush system built in. This is a very simple flush system. In fact, while we're sitting here, we may well hear it. Originally, I think I manually flushed. At one point, I believe I upgraded to a chicken-powered flush system, where I had a chicken wandering around over here until it accidentally stepped on a pressure plate. But later on, I was able, because I killed enough witches, to get enough redstone to build a very simple timing system. I can't remember what the timing settings are. It's probably a minute or two. In fact, you just heard it switch off. If you can hear an endermite, yes, you're correct. This little fellow is here to attract endermen. Not so that I can acquire their drops, but simply to entice them away from areas I really don't want them to be, because they tend to pick up blocks that I don't wish them to. Now, I must admit, I'm a little confused as to why I have this here. It's obviously another mob spawner, and I can only assume it works the same way as this one. I'm really not certain. I think it does, but it's been a while since I was here, so I can't remember for sure. But if we were to stand here long enough, you'd kind of see the sorting going on. I can't remember where they drop from, but a mob spawner, or at least the one I've implemented, works on a couple of fairly simple principles. The first is that undead, such as skeletons and zombies, sink in water, so they will drop out the bottom. Spiders, I'm afraid, I haven't done anything to get rid of them, but that doesn't really matter because I go out of spawn range quite frequently, so they'll despawn. The living mobs, for example, witches and creepers, don't sink in water, they tend to float. But it is the nature of those two that the creepers are slightly shorter than the witches, so I can basically use a water flow to push out the creepers to wherever I want, and in this case I believe they drop into the void, and that leaves only the witches, which drop over here, I think. And the whole purpose of that was because I wanted to collect redstone dust. Let's see if I can remember how to get there. It's been a while. I don't remember my way around. No. Yeah, so the idea is that this is just tall enough that they will land and die here, and yeah, well, the fire's probably a bit pointless. I'm not going to hang around forever to see if any of that happens, but as we walk around, keep your eyes open. You'll probably see mobs dropping out into the void at unexpected times. Obviously, early in the game, I didn't. It wasn't quite so specialised. It's just that later on, I didn't need the mobs anymore. I just wanted the redstone, so that's what I set up. As it turns out, I did come up with an alternative, which I will show you in a bit. So that's the first mob spawner. And seeing as we're facing that direction, I may as well show you what else is over here. Ooh, I do like the wet cobblestone look. Yes, I'm running with shaders. Where's my... oh, here it is. At some point I wanted ice, so I built a very simple ice farm. I believe it snows up here as well, but yes, in fact it is snowing. So yes, this is it. This is an ice farm. We're high enough up that any water up here simply freezes. I must admit, I thought snow accumulated up here. I can't remember. Did that dynamic change? I first put this together, oh grief, several years ago, and I'm currently running version 1.2.1. Oh, there's some snow. on a tree down there. So what else do we have around here that I should address? I've already mentioned the Endermite. Wrangling him into position was fun. Moving over to the next part, seeing as it's on the way. Yes, I have an acacia farm, a very simple one. I believe I got the seedlings for this from a wandering trader. Simple birch farm. I think the birch seedling comes with the initial skyblock. And then, obviously, I have my oak farm. And I'm sure some of you are wondering, where on earth did I get all the dirt? I will get to that. There are ways of making dirt, even in Skyblock 2.1. Needless to say, this is my storage system. It's not very big. I will probably return to that later, or maybe I'll do it now. It's nothing to write home about. I can't remember why I built a cactus farm. No. This is from Witch Drops. That's from the slime farm, which we'll see in a minute. This, I'll show you where I get the ender pearls from, and the spectral arrows. And I'm trying to remember, this must simply have been from mob drops when this farm was a regular mob spawner. Bone blocks, show you where I got those. Arrows from skeletons. Wool, yes, I do have quite a bit of wool, which I probably got from killing spiders. I say probably because, as I said, it's been a while. So, seeing as we're heading in this direction, and we're already talking about mob spawners, I do have another mob spawner. Now this one was for two purposes. The first was for producing villagers, and the second was for a charged creeper farm. At this point, I suppose I should say, when I first started this, my goal was to basically get fully enchanted diamond armour, which, if I remember how to do it, you can see that I have. When I started this, I didn't know that was possible, but yes, it is. You can get fully enchanted diamond armour in Skyblock 2.1. So the first purpose for this was for producing villagers, because every so often you do get zombie villagers. And if you have zombie villagers, then you can make villagers. How do I get down? Does anybody remember how I got up here? I don't. I've forgotten how I got up here. Oh, yes, the trees came from trading with wandering traders. Does anybody remember where my ladder is? I can't remember. Well, we'll just do this the slow way. Oh, that's nice. A golem is dying. So this again is, in fact, I think I built it from the scratch as a sorting mob farm, and I'll show you roughly how that works. In fact, it's the same basic principle as this one over here, except that I needed to do, well, initially I needed a way of getting, I'm going the wrong way, I needed a way of getting zombie villagers, and I needed to capture a witch. So, why, you may ask? Yeah, this is all blocked off now. But basically the way it worked would be that undead would drop down here, and I would then kill off everything except for the zombie villagers. Now, once you've got a zombie villager in here, this is where this young lady comes in. Yeah. That is Maleficent. Now, if you stand in the right place, she will throw potions at you, as she just did. And after a certain time, they will throw a potion of weakness. And the potion of weakness also affects the villager. If you then give the villager a golden apple, bingo, you have a villager. Once you get 2 villagers, you can breed them, and bingo, you have a source of, well, more villagers. Now, the creeper farm aspect of it, if I can remember how to get back up here, is that when this is switched on, and it is switched off at the moment, creepers will come through here. I don't think I have any in here. I shouldn't have. And what you do is you hit them with lightning. And in fact, with this specific trident here. Nope, that. And when you hit a creeper with lightning, it becomes a charged villager. Now at this point, you have a very dangerous situation. You don't want to get too close, because that could ruin your entire day. So the way it works is I would retract the piston, let a charged creeper come out, and then over here I would have stored up various mobs. Same sort of way. At which point you show yourself to the charged creeper in there. They blow up. They're in water, so it shouldn't hurt you too much. And that allows you to collect, well, that allows you to collect mob heads. And you can get 1 mob head per creeper explosion. So that's a charged creeper farm. I really didn't have a lot of use for mob heads. I just felt like it was something I wanted to try building. And yes, it worked. What can I say? This is obviously a furnace array. It's a non-redstone divide by 8 system. Very expensive in terms of iron and wood, but it's simple to build. It doesn't need any redstone. Evenly distributes everything amongst the furnaces. Very useful. And once you have one of these, you can basically use trees to make charcoal, which is what I did initially. Right, moving on. I'll try and stick to upstairs for now. We have inevitably... Oh no, this is the top of the... I forgot where I was going. As usual. Yeah, this is the top of the furnace array. I must admit, I thought I had a pond up here. I must have moved it, and I know where I moved it to. I did have a pond up there, didn't I? Obviously, pumpkin farm, that's for trading with villagers. Oh, yes, I told you. I bred up a bunch of villagers. And seeing as that was relatively early in the game, I'll show you that. So here's my combination villager breeding center and iron farm. Yeah. Not. Oh, do I have a bell hooked up to that? Oh, that's foolishness. Well, anyway. I think there's a limit to how far... Oh, I don't think they can get out. That's too short. If I ever feel the need... If I ever feel the need, I do have a zombie in there that will panic them and induce the spawning of more golems. Now, the iron golems actually spawn above my head. And they literally come down here, drop down, and basically get roasted. So this is the iron golem spawn area. The area around it is made non-spawnable. Otherwise, iron golems will spawn just about anywhere they conceivably can. And yes, you know, I've gotten a bit of iron over time. Now, at this point in the game, I only have one bucket of lava. That's what you start off the game with. And that bucket of lava is embedded in here so that... I can't remember which of these blocks I'm supposed to hit. Is it this one? Yes. So this is my cobblestone farm. Obviously I need to be a bit closer. So that one block of lava powers the cobblestone farm and also flows down here so it can kill iron golems for me. If a wandering trader came around with the right trades, I believe I can get dripstone. And if I could get that, I could actually make a lava farm. But I haven't had that luck yet. So you have a villager breeder, which means you basically now have the means of putting farms together. So here I have a wheat farm. I don't have a fancy collection system. I just have a bunch of hoppers under here which collect the wheat. And this is a kelp farm. It's an automated kelp farm. Basically, as the villager wakes up and comes back to sleep, that harvests kelp for me. so I have a certain degree of fuel. And in case you're wondering why there seems to be more animated detail, it's because I'm running, oh, what's it called? Fabulous Animations? Yes, I can't remember which mod it is. Well, it's a texture pack, I think, actually, or a resource pack. So that's what I'm running in here. Adds a nice little dimension to most of the mobs. And as you can see, I simply haven't bothered to breed up to my maximum there. So this is my wheat farm. I'm trying to remember why I bothered with a wheat farm. I think the idea was that I wanted a villager that would go backwards and forwards on a regular basis, so I put a farm in here, and so I made it a wheat farm, because my primary source of food is golden carrots, and my carrot farm is over here. Yes, that's a snow golem for snowballs and snow, I suppose. I don't think I've used him that often. I'll come back to those. So here's my carrot farm. Again, very simple. There's basically a bunch of hoppers underneath which feed into storage, which I'll show you in a bit. A sugarcane farm for trading. I did have problems with... I did actually use sand. I know you don't have to. Ooh! Yes, you can see why I have the endermite here. That enderman is distracted from everything else by the endermite. So in the end I replaced the sand with dirt, because you can grow sugarcane on dirt just as easily. Put trapdoors along the front, which sort of helps stop... Excuse me. Which sort of helps stop the endermen from picking them up, and then put a couple of cats in the way, because endermen don't like cats very much for reasons. Right. So once you've got your villager breeder in place, you can now create villagers of whatever type you need. And that's what this is. This is my villager trading center, with which I trade, yes, carrots, paper, more carrots, oh, and pumpkins, paper, rinse and repeat. And this is the reason I wanted librarians, so that I could get respiration, silk touch, etc., 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 and so on and so forth, and what have you. And yes, it's an expensive way of doing it, because knocking these down to more acceptable trades is... it's not impossible. I can see ways you could do it, but it's arguably more trouble than it's worth. But I do have all the enchantments that I currently need. Now you will notice that there are no armourers and toolsmiths apart from these two, and I must admit I'm not entirely certain why I have these two still here. But this is my source of diamond armour in this case. And this one has diamond pickaxe, diamond shovel, and once you get those, you can simply grind off the enchantment and then apply whatever enchantments you require. So that's how I got all diamond gear. That's my limited source of emeralds, and you can see I have a few mob heads And I can't remember where I got the puffer fish from. Wandering trader, I think. Oh, that's just random stuff. And here you can see I have my gold armour for going into the nether, and then my other trident, a diamond hoe, a diamond shovel, a fortune pickaxe. I'm not entirely certain why I have a fortune pickaxe. Because I could, I suppose. Right, so moving on. I did want slime. I actually don't know if I've done anything with slime. I just wanted the ability to do it. So I put in a slime farm. Not very imaginative, I'm afraid. It's just a slime farm. And as you can see, the resource or texture pack actually has quite a nice effect on them. They have little faces. And they squish. And yes, you can see where the vines have all grown down. And there went a creeper, I think, from all the way up there. And yes, I'm sure you're wondering, how did I get so much dirt? You don't start out with that much dirt, but there is a way of doing it. Basically, if you have dirt and gravel, you can mix them together to get coarse dirt. And if you hoe coarse dirt, you get regular dirt. So that's how come I get so much dirt. But you may be wondering, where do I get the gravel from? Do not worry, all will be made clear. So this is where my food is stored. Wow. Yeah. So wheat, bone meal, carrots, seeds if I need them, kelp from the kelp farm. Not exactly massive output, but I don't need a massive amount of it. Yes, I do have apples. Obviously, apples come from the oak trees. Aha, I have nether quartz. I have blackstone. There's my gravel. I'm sure some of you know where I get all this stuff, but we'll get to that in a bit. I'm going to have to sneeze. Well, I thought I had to sneeze. Apparently not. Now, at some point, I decided I wanted a sort of garden. So I built one. This is about as artistic as I get. It also acts as a useful spawn point if I want pigs. Hello, piggy. It's mostly spawn-proofed. I do get horses in here. Yep, there's one over there. I have a little bit of aquaculture going on. In case you're wondering, you do get, I think it's 2 blocks of ice at the start of Skyblock, and so therefore you have infinite water. The pickles and the coral blocks came from the wandering trader. So, yes, you know, I've got, if I need these, I have them. Hello, Mr. Horse. Why is your head stuck in the block above it. Occasionally, I do get an iron golem spawning down here because of the proximity of villagers up here. And I don't want them just wandering around, so I built a trap. So iron golems are attracted by the zombie, who is presumably name tagged. Are you name tagged? You're not name tagged. Oh, yes, you are. I can't quite read what it says. Either that or I gave you gold armour. And yeah, the results are inevitable. As you can see, I do get a bit of iron from this, and wool, and mutton, a few eggs. But it just stops iron golems from spawning too much. So this is my garden. I have to be slightly careful. Endermen have been known to come down here and steal dirt. And while I don't recall falling out the bottom, that is a danger. We'll go into the nether in a bit. So, let's see. We have furnace array, mob spawner, pumpkin farm, sugarcane farm, carrot farm, snow golem, bee farm. Only one problem with that. No bees. I have no idea what happened to my bees. That is easily fixed. If I plant some flowers amongst the oak trees, I will, and then cut down the oak trees, and then regrow oak trees, I will get more beehives back, and I can get honey once more. And to collect the honey, you simply come round the back. This is my skeleton horse collection. At some point, how on earth did that get here? I hope I didn't need that for something. At some point, a skeleton trap horse spawned in, and this is the result. This is Ocephalus, which is pseudo-Greek for bonehead, because, yes, he's got a bony head. He's actually kind of named after Alexander the Great's horse, whose name was Bucephalus, and Bucephalus means approximately, it's either bullhead or ox head, so Ocephalus made a sort of sense. Right. While I'm up here, is there anything else to show / explain? Yes, I suppose there is. One of which is, why do I have a bunch of mushrooms over here? Well, I wanted to make a village for some of my villagers, so that's what I did. And mushrooms make for a quick and easy house. They do have an iron golem, whose purpose is to hopefully persuade them not to spawn too many iron golems into existence. And yeah, weaponsmiths. Basically, I put my spare villagers into a place of their own, because I felt like doing it and I wanted to see if it was possible. I won't say this has become a speciality of mine, but if I do further base tours, you'll see them. Again, I can get a full suit of armour from him. Very expensive and time-consuming, but, you know, I wanted to see if I could get fully enchanted diamond armour. Axe, sword. Somewhere I've got everything that I need for fully enchanted diamond equipment. They're sort of in retirement, I suppose. How do I get out of here? Excuse me, can you tell me how to get out? That seems like a very long-suffering sigh. Well, if in doubt, just go back through the garden. Now, at one point, I sort of had plans to do more with redstone. I mean, you'll notice here there is very little redstone used in the construction. I mean, yes, I have the timer over there. And I can't remember what else I used redstone in. But I did have this idea that I could do more with redstone. In the end, I didn't, but I built this to try and satisfy my redstone needs. This has been described as the most evil farm in all of Minecraft. I don't think I was inspired by anybody. So what you're about to see is all my fault. Have you gotten yourself stuck in the composter again? You do look like you're stuck. You haven't been doing your job, have you? Am I going to have to extricate you somehow? Okay, look, I'll tell you what. I'll come back later. Would that be okay? I'm in the middle of something right now. Yes, I'll be back, I promise. So, the idea here is that he farms, picks up carrots, and throws them to these 3 pairs of villagers. And they pick up the carrots, and they produce little villagers. I believe this is known as an infinite villager breeder. And the offspring of the villagers drop down these 3 pillars. Well, yes. And there's water in there. And the water flow brings them along and drops them down here. I'm sure some of you know what's coming next. Now, it is in the nature of villagers that when they are struck by lightning, they turn into witches. And I have a channeling trident. So you wait till there's a thunderstorm, which means you don't sleep for several days, but you wait until there's a thunderstorm, and then you strike them with lightning. And then you kill them all. And then you get witches. Sorry, yes. Then you kill all the witches, and then you get redstone, which I have removed. As I said, this is the most evil farm in Minecraft. What can I say? Now, unless I'm much mistaken, there is one more thing up here which I have not shown you. And that is that thing in the distance. Well, that is a drowned farm. It actually works from surprisingly long range. It also acts as a sort of impromptu fish farm, but the way this works is there should be... I'm in windswept hills. There should be a river. Am I still in windswept? Okay. I'm not going to risk drowning myself. We'll go up top. But basically, in the world that this was based on, there is a river at this location. And it is the nature, as you can see, yes, biome, Minecraft river. And if you put water in a river location, even in Skyblock 2.1, drowned will spawn in. Some of those drowned have tridents, which is how come I've got tridents. Don't think I got a ladder down there, but they fall through to the bottom. And are then attracted towards a villager who is back here somewhere. You can yes, you can hear him mumbling. In fact, I think... yeah. Yes, one is heading in that direction now. And there is a portal under here, and they go through the portal into the Nether. And it is to the Nether that we shall proceed next, because I think I've shown you everything that there is up here. Did I show you the cactus farm? You've seen the cactus farm. Not entirely certain why I built it. It seemed like a good idea at the time. I wonder if that villager is still trapped in the composter. I feel guilty. Let's go check before we head into the Nether. Please note, I may feel guilty about that poor villager trapped in the composter, but I don't feel guilty enough not to have this farm. Ah, I just remembered where I got the design for the... yes. Yeah, the infinite villager breeder. I got that idea from... oh, who was it? Impulse. I can't remember his full name. Impulse of Impenskiz. I think this is Impulse's infinite villager breeder. Can I float you out of there somewhere? No, I'm going to come back later. Sorry. Impulse SV, that's his full name, I remember now. So, obviously there is a nether component. If there's a problem with these trees, is that sometimes mobs spawn in them. I just I liked the look, and I wanted to be able to plant them and have them around. Nope, wrong. I was about to say wrong way. It isn't. Right, the Nether. And here we are in the Nether. And the first thing that's obvious, well, not necessarily the first thing, is the drowned. Yes, killing drowned has a chance of spawning in regular zombies. So, if I need it, I do have a limited supply of copper. And occasionally you get a trident. I haven't done anything with the copper, I don't think. I'm not entirely sure where the eggs come from. But yes, it's a relatively quick way of getting tridents. So while we're down here, I don't remember exactly why I built this, but in fact you can exit Skyblock, and that, I think, is a portal to take me to the rest of the world. The funny thing is, when I built that, I didn't know that you could exit Skyblock, but you can. I simply don't use it. So, what have I got here? Here I have a zombified piglin farm. I know it's supposed to be in a circle, but I honestly didn't need that much of anything, so I just did it quick and dirty, and it suits my purpose, you know, within the context of the game. I think when I built this, the piglins weren't a thing. But those of you who have been around know how this works. Yes, that is called pig irritator. And that's it. I haven't. Typically, you would put an observer. Did I have an observer pig in? I think I do. Oh yes. So in principle, the observer pigs keep them irritated. So every time new piglins spawn in, the observer piglins tell them how irritated they are with me personally, and they come charging towards me. And that is the source of my gold. That's how I get golden apples and golden carrots. And while it isn't a massive, grandiose construction, it is more than enough for my purposes. In fact, I think there's an angle that if I stand in exactly the right spot, the observer pigs can still see me. and they will keep spawning in zombified piglins. Yes, there we go. Yeah. Oh, and of course, I get experience from it as well. Wow, that's noisy. Okay. Nuggets. Bars. This is, I think, yes, this is a, I smelt the swords. And as you can see, I use dried kelp. Here we go. Yes, I don't have enough swords yet. There's a buffer system in here so that when this fills up, that's when it will smelt the swords. But because I have gold, I can therefore get other stuff. And here is a very simple piglin trading system. Do you know, I don't remember how this works. I don't think I used... Okay. How did I get this? Okay, I am now curious. Normally, my piglin trading centers are a little more elaborate than this. How do I time that? I genuinely don't know. Now I am curious. I hope I didn't need that gold for anything. This is one of the few other things I did need redstone for. This is a... Yeah, obviously it's a... No, it's an elevator. But I don't remember how I got this to work. I don't know if it even still does. Let's see. Huh. Oh, okay. Oh, I've got it. Yes, there's a timer over there. Yes, yeah, there's a timer. I forgot. Yeah, it's a hopper timer. Basically, it takes about 4 seconds for an item to go round. Every 4 seconds, they get a gold bar. They trade it. It drops out the bottom. And this is the result. That's the source of my gravel, soul sand, blackstone, iron boots if I need them, water bottle, you get the general idea. All the regular piglin drops, that's where I got all my ender pearls, probably where I got the majority of my string for wool. I can only assume there was a version of... Let's see. I don't know whether this is it. I do recall there was a... Yes, this is... I think this is it. Yeah, there's a bit of a problem. The timings changed slightly. And I thought it had been resolved, but they changed the timing slightly, so either these didn't trade every 4 seconds, or the hopper speed... Yes, the hopper speed has sped up a bit, so I would ideally need to fix that a bit. or come up with another system. I mean, to be honest with you, a hopper timer like that is a real brute force solution to a timer, but yep, okay. The problem still exists. It's honestly not enough to worry about. Yes. Oh, did they? No, they missed it. So, yeah, there's still a bit of a problem with the timer. Okay. It's not a huge deal within the context of Skyblock, and yeah, I must admit, I thought that had been fixed. And I do believe that is the entirety. Are they? That would have been spawned in by that last drowned. You can, in fact, build a copper farm using that tendency. Those things are fairly awesome, if I say so myself. Has it been running the entire time? Oh, it's getting there. Anyway, we shall return to the overworld, and I will finish off. Now, the reason I have fences around here is sometimes you will get a zombified piglin spawn in, and I don't want it wandering around the base. And so that is my Skyblock 2.1 base. The reason I stopped using it is I achieved everything I wanted to. I still come back every so often to take a look, because I actually like it. I like the way it looks. I like what I achieved in building it. In principle, I suppose I could do so much more, but the simple truth is I really don't need to. It's complete in and of itself. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. I know you, if you're watching this on Twitch in the next week or so and you want to comment or ask me something, my X account is linked and you can leave me messages there. If you're on YouTube, comments are disabled because my YouTube channel is supposed to be young person friendly, but there's a link from my YouTube to my Twitter account, X account, and again, you can leave me a message there. Anyway, I hope this was moderately interesting, and I will probably do a more interesting base tour at some other time. I hope you all have a good day.